Hey guys, what's up? Me, Awesome Monkey. I'm back here for another YouTube video, and I just want to do, this is kind of gonna be a reaction to different, videos. It's gonna be, something called interactive horror story, which in case you don't know, you listen to a horror story and you're in that situation, you can choose which other, you could choose options. If you choose that option, it's kind of like a Telltale game, but horror stories, much shorter as well. So this one's gonna be The House by Mr. Nightmare. I'll do his other one, which was, I forgot what the other one was called, but I might do that if this gets well received. So yeah, um, yeah, let's get on to the video. These are actually really fun. I've done one
It's
other
a
one.
cold January night. You're with your friend John walking home from a party. You have a slight buzz going on, but overall still have your wits about you. Your friend, on the other hand, is just flat out drunk, acting like a complete idiot and making tons of noise. You're walking down one of the more secluded blocks in your neighborhood, Drew Avenue, which is relatively close to your houses. Your friend starts complaining, claiming that his bladder is about to explode all of a sudden. You tell him to wait as you're almost home, but he says he can't make it. His complaining continues as you pass by a vacant house. In fact, this house has been uninhabited for years now, ever since the owner of the house and his daughter were stabbed to death by an intruder. Everybody in the neighborhood knows about it. It wouldn't leave the local newspapers for weeks. There have also been a disturbingly high amount of disappearances in town ever since that event, and rumors circulate that it has something to do with this house. The strange thing about it, though, is that the two victims who own the house were missing their heads, and to this day their skulls haven't been found. Since John literally looks like he's about to pee his pants, you suggest that he just go on this lawn, but the thought of somebody watching comes to mind, so you suggest that he goes in the backyard.
No, I would not do that.
Without a reply, he
I
runs.
would not do that at all. I'd much rather do it in the front yard, because if it's a property that no one lives on, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. If you're going to the backyard, yeah, no one will sue you, but there could be somebody back there.
The old wooden gate and latches it open. It shuts with a loud bang behind him, and you're left alone in the night in the middle of the road.
Oh.
You sit down on the curb, waiting, when you hear the sound of a front door closing. You turn around to see somebody approaching you from the neighboring house. It's an elderly woman. She tells you that she heard the gate to the backyard of the empty house slam shut. You try to think of a quick excuse or lie, but she picks up on your stammering and tells you not to even bother lying. She says that she doesn't care what you do, but that you and your friend should simply stay away for your own safety. After all, there have been a lot of disappearances in town lately. Something about the way she says that gives off an eerie vibe. It doesn't seem like she sincerely cares about your safety. And what the hell could she mean by that? For your own safety? You open your mouth to respond, but she gives you no time. She turns around and slowly walks back to her house, shutting the door behind her. You're left alone again by the curb, confused and creeped out. There seemed to be something off about that lady, but she probably has to deal with trespassers all the time, being the neighbor to this old house. But what kind of old lady stays up this late at night? It's almost 1 in the morning. You continue waiting, now continuously glancing at the old lady's house to see if she's watching you through the window. She isn't. John's been gone for a while now. He should have been back by now. You don't want to call his name to draw even more attention to yourself. Maybe you should just walk home. John's 21 years old. He doesn't need you to walk him home. But he is pretty drunk.
Alright, sorry about that. I had to cut out and do something, so check on John or walk home. Oh, the creepy vibes that lady was sending me. I don't know what to do. I'd be terrible. I would only check on John if he was like my best friend, like a great friend. But if he was just like a regular friend, or I don't know, I'd probably walk home. check on John.
John's really drunk right now. He might have even passed out. You have to go check on him. You make your way to the wooden gate and reach for the latch, unlocking it. You push open the gate and call out John's name in a quiet yell. There's no response. It's too dark to see anything back here, so you take out your phone and turn on its flashlight. You shine the light around the whole perimeter of the yard. The whole fence is covered by tall bushes, giving the yard a real...
Sorry. Sorry about that. Oh.
Really private and secluded feeling. You notice an old backyard playground with the slide, swing set and all. The swings were broken off and lay on the ground though. You notice graffiti sprayed on the slide and on the roof of the playground. John isn't in the playground. You shine the light to the ground all across the yard, revealing tons of litter scattered across the place. Mostly beer cans and bottles. But no John. You call out his name again, this time a little louder, but still nothing. You turn and shine the light across the back wall of the house to reveal even more graffiti. You move the light down the wall, revealing the back door of the house.
Don't go in.
It's open. Damn it, you say to yourself. John must have thought it would be a good idea to check the place out. You take out your phone and dial his number, in hopes to get him out without having to go into this house. Then, breaking the silence, you can hear the sound of John's loud ringtone coming from inside the house. It continues to ring, but he doesn't pick up. You slowly walk towards the door and stop right by the outside, poking your head in through the doorway and calling John's name. He doesn't respond. You step into the house and slowly walk towards the ringtone. You shine the light around the room, revealing old, torn-up furniture scattered across the room. There's a bookshelf that seems to have been toppled over on the ground, and sitting on top of it is a broken chandelier. You shine the light up to the ceiling to reveal the chain that once held it up. In the back corner of the room, you notice a bunch of tools laying on the floor. A few screwdrivers, a hammer, and a pair of pliers. That's very odd. This is a place that's cool to explore during the day, but at a time like this, it's just a nightmare. The floorboards creak as you approach the sound of John's ringtone. It gets louder and louder until it stops. You're almost afraid to call John's name again. You redial his number and it says calling John on your phone, but there's no ringtone. His phone must be on, otherwise he would have gotten voicemail.
At this point, I'd leave.
The ringtone seemed to have been coming from the next room over, which appears to be the living room. You make your way out of the den-like room and into the living room. There was a stairwell leading to the upstairs of the house, and across from that, the front door. Shining the light on the front door, however, you notice that it's been boarded up with 2 planks. That's rather strange. Suddenly, your phone's flashlight turns off, and the dead battery image appears on your screen. You've been so distracted that you've completely forgotten how low your battery has gotten. You call John's name again, but in a very quiet, whispery-like yell. Almost immediately, you hear the sound of the floorboard creak. It came from the top of the stairs. You can't see who it is in this complete darkness. You say John's name again, this time in a complete whisper, but there's no response.
Leave the house. Leave the house. I am out there.
I have to go away for a while. I saw something I was not.
Like hell am I going up there, you think to yourself. You quickly make your way back down to the den area and through the back door of the house, all the while waving your hands in front of you to make sure that you don't walk into anything. You try to justify your actions. It was the logical thing to do.
Yeah.
After all, if it was him, then he's fine. But if it wasn't him, then There's nothing you could have done, and fleeing the scene was the right course of action.
Yes. Yes.
You walk back to the gate, looking over your shoulder to make sure that you're not being followed. You stand there for a few moments, trying to find the latch to the gate, until you hear the sound of the latch being pulled up. Only, it came from the other side. You weren't the one who lifted it. You quickly crouch down in the corner of the fence as somebody pushes the gate open. The person that walks into the yard, it's the old lady from next door. She walks right past you. Thankfully, she didn't notice you. You leap up and squeeze through the still open gate before it shuts, and quickly pace away from the gate. What the hell is up with that old lady? As you move away from the house, you wonder what that lady is going to do to John if she finds him. But then again, maybe John isn't even in the house. You only make it to the sidewalk before you hear the sound of somebody calling for help. You turn around to face the house again, but it's not coming from this house. It's coming from the neighboring house, the old lady's house. You notice that she left her front door wide open. You cautiously proceed closer to the house. Another cry for help echoes out the door. Help! It sounds like a young man. Somebody is clearly in trouble in that house.
At this point, I would just be leaving, ignore it, walk home. Best thing to do.
Are you still using Google? I have something to show you. Ecosia is a search engine just like Google.
Whatever's going on in there, it's none of your business. It's
Exactly.
not worth taking the risk of checking that out.
Exactly.
So you walk home and send John a text on the way home, asking if
But your phone's dead. How can you do that? Your phone's dead. I'd be sprinting at my house at this point.
he's alright. He doesn't respond. You send another text, saying to watch out because the old lady from next door is probably coming in to check what's going on. Usually John reads his text right away, but not this time. You tell yourself that it's probably just because he's been drinking.
I'd call the police.
You get home and crawl into bed, too tired to even turn the TV on. You take a look at your phone to see if John has responded to the text. Still nothing. Although, now it says that he read the text. Damn, he must be mad that I left him, you think to yourself. You really begin to feel sorry for what you did now, and start to wonder about what you witnessed. You wonder what that old lady would have done to John if she caught him, and what if the person at the top of the stairs wasn't John? What if by some chance it was the guy who killed that man and his daughter? What if these disappearances in town have something to do with this house after all? Suddenly, you hear the sound of sirens coming down the street and turning the corner leading to Drew Avenue. Oh shit. What the hell happened over there? You shield your mind from imagining the worst. The old lady must have caught John and called the police, but there's no way she could have managed to hold him captive. John's fine. He's probably home already. You decide to send John another text. John, what happened? The police are heading in the direction of the house. Did you get caught? Dude, come over now. We gotta talk about this. You sit patiently and wait as more sirens pass outside. You begin to feel more worried as your optimism begins to fade. Just until you hear the reassuring sound of your phone vibrating from a text. It says John's name. You feel a sudden relief and begin to read the text. Of course I'm fine. I have your address. I'll be right over.
Wait. That's it? Oh. That's not John. That is not John. I need to see his comments. That is not John whatsoever. So I might do this one next if this gets a lot good feedback. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through the other ways. That's gonna be up to you, not to me. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this, want me to do the knock at the door, make sure to leave a like on the video. Yeah, see you all later in the next video. Bye.